love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just level up. I'm so gone, no I'm never turning back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just level up.
Okay, let's shut this thing up. I will try not to cough, I swear. I'm still not 100% good, so, but better, significantly better. After many adventures, but those who are in the community and are aware, I was very, very sick. Like never before in my entire freaking life. So yeah, it was not fun. I'm sorry for being MIA. It is what it is. Let's dive into things. Today was a nothing burger. Today ended up having a bit of a gap. Market continued with the momentum that was already sort of in possession of. Bottom of the new channel. We're transitioning over. Not a good sign to anyone. Was predicted. We were saying and predicting how we will see 58, 57 handle just last week. We were just saying that the one day that I was alive enough to do a live call, I pre-prepared everybody and I said it's probably going to be happening sometime soon. By the way, hello to everybody. Hello Tom, of course. Hello Johnny, Leo, Walter, Michalis, Bedwars Gang, Leo, Lucas, John, Christoph, Johnny, Black Mamba, Christoph, Tom, again, sorry, pardon me, Danny, Stonks, John, hello everybody. Say Gap or Leaf Rally. Grandpa takes a shot. Grandpa's gonna be very drunk. The reality is that the market didn't do anything too surprising, too amazing. We actually said we were just talking about this in the community on the Discord right before we started this. How, if anything, if we're going to get any action, it probably will happen in less than minutes. We kind of got it in the less than minutes-ish, sort of. It is seemingly, again, the gap has been closed, so the market is kind of okay-ish now, can continue with the price action that was behaving, but really we're at the bottom and at the wedge right now, so we're not going to have anything too substantial. In fact, just earlier in the community, we were discussing it. In the upcoming sessions, whatever is left from this week, if anything, it appears to be that, if anything, we will be seeing the price action continuing to drop throughout the following days. I don't think we're gonna have the price action. We were just discussing it just earlier on Discord. Does it appear to be like as the SPX can get that 6,000 handle again, which appears to be very, very questionable at this stage of things? We kind of concluded that it appears to be at 58, 90, 59, if anything. So the limit is not that far off to where we're at right now, pretty much the ceiling of these current channels that you're seeing on the screen right now. So not that far off. No, God damn it. Now the momentum right now, when we're starting to look at the larger time frames, like 30 minutes, where it actually starts to matter, it appears to be a little bit more bearish. Just let me do, yeah, okay, just making sure one thing there. It's a little bit more bearish. So, and we're already struggling with the median, with the shorter term channel as is. So it appears to be like we're already more negative than, we're more bearish than bullish already as is. We are testing currently the handle of 57.99. You might as well just call it 5,800. But this is a relatively weaker channel, relatively weaker support resistance. So we're not going to retest it for too long, but it does appear to be that we're going to be retesting within the vicinity of these levels, still with the upcoming session. So probably finalizing this week, not that far off. Accordingly, pardon me. Sorry, I can try and mute myself every time I have a little bit of a cough, but it's going to just sound weird. So basically what it appears to be that all in all, we're not going to have anything too substantial in the upcoming sessions, although this gap is already closed. The only one gap that we have left over somewhere there. Thank you, Leo, for showing off that gap is somewhere around 6,000 and a bit, somewhere around here-ish. We do have, here it is. It's like 6,141. It's really far off. The momentum is not indicative of being able to close that anywhere remotely anytime soon. So maybe, of course, later down the line. Right now, it's a lot more bearish, objectively speaking. The momentum on, let's see, 30 minutes. So we said 30 minutes. Again, sort of transitioning to become a little bit more bearish. What are we seeing on 45? Also bullish. It's kind of stuck in between, not really certain, since technically it's above the 50 range, but it is having convergence right here, so eventually giving way to more bullish momentum. Once this red line takes dominance, basically we become even further more bearish. So this is actually indicative of even more further bearish momentum, basically dragging the price action even lower. We will have a relief rally, Grandpa. Have a shot. Definitely. We will be... Pardon me. I am so sorry, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'm going to try and go through this as best of my abilities not to cough, but it is what it is now. So yeah, it does appear to be that we will have some form of a relief rally here once complete. Probably when we're going to have convergence, divergence complete, we're probably going to have some form of a corrective movement to at least retest the median again, which gives us a handle of about 5,800, maybe 58 and a bit with some slippage. Let's see how momentum turns out to look at 4 hours. At 4 hours, it's actually still very, very bearish. Sort of more indication to think that we're going to continue moving downwards. By the way, we have completely gotten rid of these gaps, so these are all done with. Here we had another gap, so all closed. We basically have very few gaps, if anything at all, other than this top one that we have on the top right there, the 140 area. Everything appears to be a lot more bearish, as is, and even with the retest, with the relief rally, all it will do, it will basically will force the market to retest again that very same number we just spoke about earlier on the other time frames, 5,800, which is the bottom of that flattening channel that we've been in within for the last months. I'm sorry. Daily chart, more bearish. So upcoming sessions, but again, we've seen this on the smaller time frames as well, so it's not going to be all that surprising if with a bit of a retest, still all in all more downwards pressure. It's upsetting how and there were it's this is not, I swear I'm trying, and you guys don't even realize this is like, as horrible as it is, I was like a lot better right before we started the live, and as soon as we started the live, it's like it just got worse. But I'm trying. I really am trying. Again, if you remember, guys and girls, I've sort of pointed out how the price action will start sort of having a lot more pressure to the downside, and it's gonna feel like as if what we had was an upwards clear trend start to become a little bit more of this shallow, very flat trend, and you can almost see the transition actually happening right here, right? You can see how that's happening. Pardon me. And as we get to here, now that you see the larger channel that I've been warning about and saying, look, guys, it's going to be very problematic when we're going to hit that ceiling and eventually start slipping downwards, and below and behold, what are we seeing? Exactly that location where you see that very same channel that they're warned about. Now check this out, see what's happening here. We're basically starting to flip over and become completely bearish. So this, in essence, shows us at least the direction of our first sort of real test, if you will, which will be the 54, 55 handle. We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. We were mentioned it by passing in the community. In the Discord, we talk about this quite a bit. Even when I was sick, I sort of jumped in, here and there to speak with some of the members. To make sure everybody's up to speed in my community. We've been getting ready for all this transitional period as long as it, in fact, we knew it could have appeared a lot, or sort of could have happened a lot earlier and appeared a lot earlier within the time frame, but because of how the Fed played things out and sort of dragged things out, it ended up being a far more of a prolonged process. And instead of us hitting the ceiling roughly around these levels far earlier, or maybe even getting stopped by the smaller internal channel, we instead were able to proceed and drag it all out for basically a whole 7-8 months on top of everything, which is horrible because we're gonna have to give it all back. We're gonna have to give it all back, and it's just gonna be tremendously painful. And where do you see SPX? Well, no, that's not Black Mamba. That's not where it's gonna bottom. That's just the first sort of stage where we're gonna have a significant, very strong support, retesting the market and creating this sort of a bear trap where a bull trap, pardon me, where the bulls will get convinced where the market is going to be correcting and everything is fine. It's going to retest this vicinity, potentially making some form of a bearish flag with some inkling of bullish momentum, and so the bulls will be enticed to start buying into this whole process, and basically will end up losing their underwear when they're going to realize the market is actually still very, very bearish. Okay, and I'm giving this high as a hypothetical. It can be very different, and I'm not saying that that's how long it's going to take. No, I'm not. I'm just giving you a rough sketch idea of how it may behave. This can be a lot faster. In fact, just within the vicinity here, what I drew, we might as well drop down, correct back up, create this shoulder, break back down, retest it again, and break back down. So basically sort of getting us stuck within this more so downwards trend that temporarily will appear bullish, and so will entice bulls to jump in full force and lose their underwear. So it's going to be very, very turbulent time. The upcoming, again, we'll see exactly what it appears to be like on the larger time frames, but it appears to be like this process is going to be very, very prolonged, and 5400 is merely the first stop before we continue even lower eventually in some sort of a similar process, giving us, well, what we said, 48 handle, 49, 47, depending on how quickly we actually going to end up doing it. Because again, the quicker we end up doing it, the more likely it is that it's going to be the sort of the vicinity. We already see various forces like our SMAs creeping up on various similar, supports and resistance levels. So it's not going to be all that surprising if we end up retesting these. Which, by the way, the market can drop a lot quicker than it climbs. Remember, we climb up the stairs and we drop down via the elevator. Or if I say, we gain in droplets and we lose in buckets, right? By the way, this is exactly where that sort of advice of, taking off the top the 30, 40, 25% to each their own, what was your original investment, comes into play. And that's where, like, imagine how the people who actually took off the top when it comes to your various, Palantirs, which, by the way, exactly sort of as we say, is going to be playing out. But this is exactly where we say, sort of where this strategy prevails, the idea of executing these 30% of the market is just going stupid bananas, and now all these people who basically already took out their original investment, anything and everything that's happening to the stock currently doesn't hurt them, and in fact they're able to pick back up as the market will be bottoming on far lower lows, when now it's just getting started, and all the people that already were able to execute on higher highs already significantly more happy. So this is where this advice is actually super powerful. And people who have their stop losses, take profits, set up the right way, and their strategy set up the right way, right now already not feeling the pressure as much as people who have not executed anything, because the whole idea, the whole trick in the market is to execute at least partially, to take something off of the table, making sure that you're not just working on blind and forever into oblivion. You are actually actively putting aside as you go, and you force your money to work for you and not the other way around, where you're continuously forced to add more money into your portfolio, which no one says that's a bad idea. It's just that you better learn how to leverage your money to work for you, instead of you, like, your money needs to be your slave. You don't need to be your money's slave. It doesn't make any sense. Now, we should put that on a t-shirt. Like, your money should be slaving for you, not you for your money, with all due respect. And what most people misunderstand with the whole strategy, no one says you need to be selling everything, especially if you're incapable of doing that, to each their own, right? Everyone manages their own portfolio in their own way. I'm not going to tell anybody how to manage their portfolio, but I'm sure as hell going to point out when something just totally makes sense, right? And utter logic. So I know some of you were able to execute more than others. I'm glad that most of you have had the benefit of actually taking profit, and I keep on preaching these things, and I keep on saying that, guys, it's important to understand that this is not we're not playing favorites here, and when it's time to take money off the table, to make sure that you're going to be profitable when times get more difficult, because they will. Every time there is the cyclical nature of the market that is unavoidable, and this is where technicals, by the way, technical analysis plays a major role of truly understanding why and how things are happening. And you can argue with it till tomorrow, but those who truly understand how to do proper technical analysis always come ahead and come above the people who are not in the know. It's not going to damage your understanding. In fact, it's going to always add. Doesn't matter whether you're an investor, trader, whatever you call yourself, it doesn't matter. For all I care, as long as you're not a donkey. You know who's the only person who doesn't care about technical analysis? A donkey. Now I truly understand the can. Donkey. With people who are stubborn like asses for no good reason, don't understand sort of, understand that the market's like gravity, doesn't care whether you understand it or you believe it or not. You just don't float away because you don't believe in gravity. You might as well not care about technical analysis, but what you're going to do now when the market is going bananas and you can't properly explain it. So you see, it's very powerful knowledge, which, by the way, brings me to a very important point. I currently have just one final spot in my one-on-one academy, which is one. Just one. I spoke today with another student who's highly interested and is trying to transfer the money and everything, so I basically give her the benefit of the doubt. So one final spot. Mira, we're going to get to a firm in a second. Wait, let's finish S&P still. I haven't finished it yet. But the grand idea is pretty simple. We've been talking about this and nagging on and on and on. how it's going to get bearish and painful as all hell. And I know how everybody's like, oh, the market is going, tits up and this and that. It's like, no, guys, the market, you don't understand. The market haven't even started going tits up yet. We're just getting started. This is just the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. So it's going to get just a lot worse from here. And I've been warning, and those who didn't, listen, cry me a river, I guess, or whatever you want to cry. And it is very upsetting. Actually, I thought I was, as away, and I first of all welcome to all the 100+ people who did join the channel, but bummer for all the 5 people who chose to leave the channel because they think they don't like my thesis. It's like, boo-hoo, cry me a river. It's not about me nor you. It's not about none of that. It's not a game. It's not a competition. It's simply the market and how you do it right to make the most out of it, right? And at the end of the day, the market is going to do whatever it's going to do, and it doesn't care about your retirement plan, about your schedule. It doesn't care about none of these things. So at the end of the day, the market is super bearish. We were warning about this here. This is your monthly. And it's just going to get worse from here on out. Of course, we will have a temporary relief rally here somewhere along the retest of the 50. It completely makes sense, which we will. There will be a relief period the same way when we go up and we correct downwards, right? The same way. We move up, we correct down. When we move down, we correct up. That's the same thing. Sort of to find the balance in between, to find where the consensus is sort of agreed upon on both sides, if you will. And usually it's going to be somewhere in between. So the real reality here is that a lot of pain is coming. It's going to be very, very painful. I don't think the vastness of the market participants who now, appear screaming, I'm a tough guy, I don't get seasick, no problem. That's where we're going to be able to see really who's tough and how tough everyone's really are, right? We're going to test everybody's mettle here. And when the market will start correcting very, very shortly, even deeper, even quicker than it has been doing so far. Why is it not showing me the larger channel? So goddamn annoying thing. But anyway, when it will start doing that, we will be able to see who's really up for the test, so to speak, because the competition, again, it's not between me and them, it's between them and themselves, and they're losing to themselves, which is far worse than you can but I hope some people at least were able to do the right step and consider partial, again, execution, just to be prepared for these sort of turbulent times. I know some people were more prepared, some people were less prepared, and I'm saying we're just getting started. Remember, these sort of processes can take quite a bit of time, and this is not a good example. This, in fact, was a very temporary corrective movement, which now the opposite. I'm saying, again, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm an idiot, right? We'll see, maybe I'm wrong over the long run, but for right now, at least we can see that we're starting some form of downwards movement that is going to be prolonged. Relatively speaking, we'll see whether it's going to be bigger than this, whether it's going to be short-lived, or whether it's going to actually proceed far lower than some people want to admit that it might. Like I'm saying, roughly around the 3,300. Yes, so 3,300 in S&P. Those who didn't think not sure whether they heard clearly. Yes, eventually. No one says it's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be a very prolonged, tedious process of a ton of retests of supports, resistances back and forth, and it's going to get the most of the market very nauseous, if you will. Most people will not be able to survive this process. Everybody's, of course, manly man and tough and no problem. I will tough through this. Everybody says that now, when we haven't even started yet, and they're already praising themselves, patting themselves on the back as if they've lived through a war. It's like, guys, you haven't even survived the training yet. What are you talking about? So let's get ready. It's gonna get turbulent. Yeah, let's look at some tickers, I guess. I mean, there's not much to say because the vastness of the market will be very similar. Even those, again, those who are like myself are holding plug, for example, of course, are having not a great day either, although plug is far more energy related, which is suffering right now. When we said energy might go low, although it did kind of surprise. We did say this is quite possible. We said lower than 70 slippage, so it kind of still makes sense. kind of surprising. We were expecting this to start picking back up earlier, but then again, Trump, I guess, is playing his own thing, so prolonging the process, no problem. It's still going to be inevitable. Oil is going to start picking up back up soon, as far as we can tell, and see them predicted, quite some time ago, so it's just part of the process. With it, of course, plug will be picking back up. Plug will be affected by the market behavior overall, so it's not all that surprising when we have bad days. Plug is still affected somewhat, but for me it means nothing other than an opportunity to buy it at a very low price. I'm planning, of course, to capitalize on some of it. This is not an investment, just a trade, a swing trade I've been having. So yeah, this is sort of to summarize this to those who are curious about plug. Kratos, KTOS, those who are following up on this, another thing the community and myself, some people are doing. Again, not financial advice, you do you, right? This is not something I recommend. I don't recommend anything. It's just something that I myself am holding, and I'm being very open about it. I'm planning to buy more. It is kind of ran away from me really quickly. I was really wanting to buy that 23, but I kind of messed up. I didn't have my money for extra buying ready at that moment, and yeah, I was not feeling well at all, and I was really not paying attention, honestly. And I should have bought some, but I'm planning to buy more. I'm thinking of maybe 24, 38 range sooner than later. As you can see, the momentum is kind of setting up for another downturn right there, so I'm not going to be surprised if that will happen somewhere around this time soon, and will give me another opportunity to pick up a little bit more within the very same levels as we were expecting in the first place. We were expecting this movement. Those who are part of the community, of course, are in the know. If anybody can drop a link to the Patreon, join Patreon, then join Discord, so you can talk to me on a daily basis. Although I'm not gonna lie, I've been sick like death for the last week and a half, so I've been on and off, but normally I'm there every single day talking to my members. One final spot for the one-on-one academy at the old price, 2,500. After that, one spot is filled up. That's it. The price is going up, so whoever takes it. First come, first serve. First serve, so don't miss out. Definitely a good, tremendous value especially for such a stupendously low price. It's just stupid low. How ridiculous. It's like buying a Lambo for $100 basically. Last final spot. I highly recommend grabbing it real quick before it's grabbed by somebody else. Now, what else? Let's do tickers. Let's do some stonkies. Let's do some stonkies. Where do you see SPX bottoming 5? Yeah, I've answered that. I spoke with low highs, daily range traders have. Yes, sure. Actually, that's correct, Mamba. You're gonna have a good time for that for traders heaven. Yeah, absolutely. Those who really like to trade, woof. Market's gonna be going bananas. 6. Try 10. Try 10 left and right. You're going to have 10s left and right. It's going to be a bunch of 10s left and right. 15s and fourth. It's going to be just bananas. The market's going to be disgusting for your sort of average participant, but for your average trader, it's going to be pure heaven, like you said. Okay, you see, Tom, I didn't say too many times gap nor relief rally. It is what it is, right? But there will be plenty of a firm. Let's look at the firm. I just looked at earlier at the firm, but conveniently for me, here we are. Thank you, Achinoti Merosh, prepared in advance. So yeah, we already have basically an analysis on the firm here. You can see we already had it in advance, and so far everything is working out as expected. Market going up to 78. We're testing that resistance basically and starting a corrective movement, which you can already has started inside of there, which will probably result in giving us some form of head and shoulders right there, which means again another sort of, it probably will have some form of a bull trap right there inevitably. So there will be probably another retest of the highs again. I'm not sure what highs they're going to be, but here that sort of matches very neatly with this retest. You see this just perfectly matches. You see how that works neatly into this, just like what we were saying a second ago. So that totally makes sense if this overall downwards trend will not just be a downward trend, but it will be a downward trend through the process of retesting another high and only then breaking, which eventually will result in this downwards trend, downwards, upwards. Yep, giving you a bigger head and shoulders here. So here it is. Here's the bigger head and shoulders, right? Which will result in that. Basically, it's going to be that one. Here it is. Da, da, da. And da, 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 that, if you will. Some form of this sort of blah, blah nonsense of this sort. So all pre-prepared in advance. Levels appear to be 78.92, 48.41. It's going to be extremely volatile, like super duper volatile, like 10% left and right. Well, not really left because the market doesn't go left, you know that. But I mean up and down all the time. Like you're going to have tremendously volatile market for a firm. I like a firm, by the way. I'm a big proponent of a firm. I might be trading it again. The more it's going to become more evident. The movement upwards, I might play along the next upwards movement, at least partially, just grab some of it. I'm not gonna probably aim downwards. I'm pretty well positioned downwards anyway against the market. So I mean, in that sense, so not against the market, but sort of short, holding SQQQ. So I'm pretty good on that front. So probably I'm gonna have to do anything myself. But yeah, I'm probably gonna be trading it upwards sometime soon when it what I will feel consider sort of hitting bottom, which it's not that far off, and when it will, I will be trading it 78.35, I think, again. So 80, maybe 72.92. Again, just a little bit of an uptrend right there. I can get a little bit of a movement I can catch. Why not? We'll see. Maybe I'll wait for it to drop significantly lower. But all in all, a firm will end up being very volatile up and down just to result in a significant downwards movement, which will result in super low prices like 20-ish area. Yes, I am saying 20. I haven't gone crazy. In fact, lower than 20. The market as positioned already is going to get a really... like we are ahead of very painful times. That's just the reality. And I've been saying and warning about this for a long time. So those who listened, good on you. Those who didn't, bummer for you, boys and girls. Cry me a river. Like the stream so that Greg can do tickers today. Look, I am doing tickers. I'm doing tickers. No worries, things. Hope that helped. All right. I see more tickers. I see Intel. We have Intel here. We like Intel. What were you saying? That's so cool. It feels like I have everything, pre-prepared in advance. Like, ta-da! So we are stuck in a channel right now. This is the prediction. So although we've kind of starting to hit the bottom, we're gonna have some retests. So looks like we're gonna. I'm saying we're gonna close this gap. We haven't closed this gap yet. So you see, I'm still predicting we're gonna close this. So my assessment here that eventually, sometime soon, we're gonna still see it like 30s, 29s. Eventually still closing that gap and resulting in some probably very unpleasant and painful time, going down like everything else, resulting in a price handle of around 18 and 0.15, but like 18 handle, below the 20 basically. Of course, we're going to have a retest of that 25 psychological flat, not just 25.71, but the actual 25.25 proper. In fact, being within the vicinity of the price range that this is, it's every single dollar matters to you. And since this is a value asset, prepare for a lot of sideways, like a lot of sideways price action. Very boring, very sideways price action. Not even pleasant for a trader. Like, this is a good way, or gonna be potentially a good sort of range to pick up for those who are planning to hold Intel over years to come, and there's gonna be like a good bottom to pick it up. And doesn't matter whether you pick it up at 25, 24, 23, 16, 17, doesn't matter. All of it is like a good range. So you're creating an average. So when you do start getting dividends again and the price starts to appreciate eventually, because it will, in my opinion, from what I can tell from the structure of the market and Intel being Intel, and over the years, as much as you like to hate on them, they are here to stay. And you definitely wanna, the same way some of the smart people who were here picking up and using the opportunity and getting ready for that, you wanna be some of the smart people who are getting the opportunity, getting into the opportunity before it picks up. Again, it's probably gonna take a while, and it's a very prolonged, tedious trade, and it's gonna take forever, but even I'm the sort of person who will considers this to be as a part of a healthy portfolio. I know Tom hates this. He's not a fan of Intel. He's not a fan of that structure of portfolio. That's fine. We don't have to agree on everything, but I do like Intel as a fundamental sort of partition of the portfolio. Maybe I shouldn't have deleted that and just keep it for later, so people don't ask what am I thinking, like where the plan is, what the idea is. So. And I think now, from what I can tell, is not a bad time to start picking it up as it's bottoming before it picks back up. Of course, it's going to be a tedious process. Like I said, it might take years to see actually, give the benefits, and take years to just double in price while other assets just triple and quadruple and quadruple a million times in between. But that's more of a outwards looking asset to have it as a dividend play for later. That is that thought. Tesla is going to be doing not great. We said Tesla is probably going to be picking back up again to correct on some of that very painful movement. In fact, like I said, looks like we've prepared everything in advance. Like we said, Tesla will be dropping lower so far as predicted. As you can see, everything is going as expected, retesting that, although my big circle here is too big, so but yet you get the idea. It was retesting this thing, right? So retesting 300, 295, 305, because we have sort of the juncture of various forces here. We have 6510 here, so 270, very strong area. So what we end up here with is a very strong channel that we end up here with. And so the price action is basically, sorry, pardon me for that, maybe just to keep it a little bit more clean. So the idea here, as you can see, the price action will end up potentially retesting this very strong sort of area, if you will, in various ways. Yeah, but all in all, still will result in far lower prices. We're talking about roughly, 158, 100. I know it sounds insane, but don't forget everything else I said so far sounded insane too. But look at where we are now. So with time, overall, the longer sort of overall process will lead up, unless something changes, right? Until then, as it's structured, it appears to be that it's going to will be correcting very deep over time. It's going to be this very, very tedious, prolonged process. And yeah, so looks like we're basically going to be going down significantly, potentially retesting, like we said, 150, 120, 130, maybe all the way to the 100 area. You can see all that downwards pressure being cooked right here. Be prepared, right? So eventually this pressure, once crossing the 50, will accelerate. We're already halfway through and we're just getting started. Of course, it's not going to be straightforward. There'll be some retest processes here. That this is what I was trying to show off internally. But now that we're far away, it's harder to see because it's all internal. Now you can kind of see that was implying for the idea of this or this, if you really want to break it down. So this process, similar. This process doesn't have to be identical, doesn't have to be symmetrical at all, not the same amount of impulses, not at all. That's not how it works. But the overall outcome, a bunch of bullish bull traps, basically, that will make the bulls will buy in like like basically donkeys, just to end up losing their shit later down the line. It's going to be very painful, very unpleasant. And yes, the market might retest certain highs, and there could be a decent play here for some people who want to swing it. Sure, depends on your threshold of pain. And what if you get locked longer than you expected? Blah, blah, blah. If you can handle this, sure, up to you. Again, I'm not here to give financial advice, but you get the idea, right? If you know how to play this right, sure, you can leverage this to the tits. It's going to be amazing if you do it right. Now, XYZ. What is that, Johnny? What are you? What are you doing? What are you doing, Johnny? What is that? What is it, Johnny? Are you trying? Is this a trap, Johnny? Is this a trap? Is this a trap? Apple is holding up so nicely. That's unbelievable. XYZ. Ah, right. It's that square block thing. Balata. It's Balata. It's Balata. It is the stupid block. You throw it at your neighbor when it annoys you. A classic head and shoulder. Very, very classic. It is very classic head and shoulder. Yes, probably some shoulder here. It is doing shoulder just to end up lower. It is not good. You can see it is like all the other poop. It is like trash. It is very trash. It is garbage. Don't buy this. Throw this into the garbage bin. It is garbage, garbage, garbage. Very garbage, not garbage. Yes, garbage, not good. Yes, it is garbage. Very garbage. It's a block. It's crap. That's what it is, Christoph. It is garbage. You throw it out the window at your neighbor. When neighbor annoy you, take block, you throw at your neighbor. That is what you do with this. This is what this stock is good for. Throwing at your neighbor. You get a whole bunch of block stock and you throw it at your neighbor when a neighbor annoying. Yes? Very good, very good. Shit, it's trash. Guys, block is trash. I mean, no offense, but it's trash. CrowdStrike. CRWD. Let's do CRWD. CRWD is actually not bad. Last time we checked, I remember. Let's see, do we have anything like a normal setup? But I need this. Okay, let's do here. CRWD. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I've had the setup already. Yeah, here it is. Yep. Here we go. It looks like we called the ceiling, and then looks like I've had. Okay, oh, there we go. X marks the spot. Okay, so basically we're saying that CrowdStrike is going down and 300. So we're saying X marks the spot. You see, I prepared. I am ready in advance. Like it's a cooking show. You see, it's like a cooking show, guys. You see, I was second. Looks like my show value quality improved. Right now, everything is, all the analysis is prepared. Now I don't just analyze the market. I know what you guys are gonna ask for. You see, X marks the spot. So okay, you get the idea. Basically, we'll be going down. These are the levels. X marks the spot. I wrote it in advance. I actually remembered this. This is like we did this like a week ago or something, when I was half dead still. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So basically what we're saying is ceiling and then drop to the bottom, that these levels. Why did I do it so offset? I don't know. Let's just move it so no one cries. Yeah, but you get the idea. And we're getting there. We're slowly moving to X marks the spot, right? To 300. So it looks like we've prepared in advance. And then the usual March. No. Correction. Now, Mirror, don't look at anything usual right now because there's nothing usual about the market currently. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The cyclicality is very much thrown off, by the way. So, I mean, the big cycle is very much in play. What you guys are familiar with in terms of short range cycle, it's not yet. I mean, the previous one is complete, and the current one is just getting started. So it's gonna be very painful. And what is that? What is that doing? That is doing what everything else is doing. It's going down. It's going down, down, down. Very, very down. This is classic Head and Shoulders. Here it is doing the classic Head and Shoulders thing. And here is your downwards pressure. I mean, do I really have to say, guys? It is pretty goddamn obvious. Why is my linear version run away? Yes, thank you. Okay. Cool. Now we can see the pressure is downwards, right? Pressure downwards, yes. Red dominant, so that's bad for you if you're not a short seller. If you're a buyer, that's not good for you. That means more bearish. That means how bearish? Very bearish. Like really bearish? How bearish? Bearish. Like bearish, bearish. No, just Stefan, wait, give me a sec. I'll tell you how bearish. Bearish. Brush. It is going to be, let me tell you. Let's see. Okay, cool. That's gonna be an easy one. I mean, I wonder. Oh shit, you're gonna be screwed. You are gonna get so screwed. Cool. Let me have this one just in case. Now, yes. So you're like 70, 55 screwed at least. That's definitely very not pleasant for you, I'm sorry to say. But as I was saying, you are like 70, it appears to be screwed. 70 at least. For like your current major support will be roughly around the 70 area. You're probably gonna, well, that now you're sitting on it, which is 100. It's not surprising. It all makes sense. Location wise, that's your, it's not really 100, it's something else, but since the end of the, because it ends up being so close to the 100, you might as well consider it to 100. So it's basically 100 for all you care. And so you're gonna have a major, it's gonna be like double forces to why your 100 is super important to you. And so basically this is your major, and with momentum as is, get ready to see 70 within the upcoming months. Potentially, of course, retested back with, so again, you're not done yet. First of all, this is not done yet, so it's going to take some time. When complete, eventually break down, maybe do some of that negative wedge and maybe do some of that 55, but overall your target will be 70. 70.20, kind of the vicinity of that. Mama is coming with 2 counts to bring double likes. Hell yeah! Mama is always a true legend. It's a block. Yes, we said that. We're bouncing. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Are we bouncing? We bouncing? Are we doing the bounce? Are we? Is he bouncing? Nah, just the bottom of the channel, and was stopped by the bottom of the channel. Nah, I wouldn't call that bouncing. Let's not exaggerate. That was quick one. You see everything. You see, I had all the stocks pre-prepared today. Everything was pre-prepared. I came prepared for today's session. I don't know. You got that. I suggested this. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. Like Shaggy. SPX 5650, SPY 56. Yes, Mamba. You're not far off. We know that's HRL. Hall. Let's do a Hall. We were here, I think. No, we're Earl. HRL. Hurl. Hormel Foods. Hormel? Okay, Hormel. If you say Hormel Foods, let's loot Hormel Foods. Yeah, it sucks like everything else. I mean, that's pretty obvious and pretty evident and speaks for itself, right? You're at a strong junction point, so it's probably gonna get retested, so that makes sense. I mean, because you're having the junction of the long range, short range channel meeting both of them right there. How does it reflect on? Does not reflect on you in any good form whatsoever. You're basically bearish to the low 20s. You're bearish all the way to the low 20s, weirdly enough. Yeah, there's nothing there to save you. It's all bad. So low 20s, at least as a first measure, low 20s, which is just $8 away, but within the context of this price and how deep you already dropped. So yeah, like within the short range vicinity, $8 more down. Of course, through volatile processes, it's not going to be straightforward. Just tomorrow we wake up and it's, $8 lower. But in the grand scheme of things, this is where the market is going to be dragging you downwards over time. So get ready. Within the vicinity of this prices, these prices you're probably going to be retesting every single dollar as you drop, and it's going to be painful. And you're going to feel every single dollar. It's like dropping, 40 steps and falling every single step of the way, if you know what I mean. Like you're going to be really feeling every, and sometimes when you're going to be dropping 2 steps, oh, don't worry, the market will bring you up just to make sure you didn't miss a step, if you will, and you're going to bonk your head with all the steps until you end up lower and lower and lower within the vicinity of the 20s, as we said. And Rick, let's ask me then when you're at 20s. It's gonna be not pleasant. It is what it is, Mira. I'm just describing it as it is. So yeah, it's not gonna be very pleasant. It's gonna like bonk, 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 like a springy thingy. Nvidia, let's do Nvidia. There's not much to say about Nvidia. I was warning how it's gonna drop to the 110, blah blah blah, retest all these levels. I was warning all along, and it just took a lot longer than we expected. The market really stretched the bejesus out of this. Instead of being it more of a quicker process, it ended up being a very slow process, as you can see. But yeah, you're probably retesting higher again. Don't be surprised if you're gonna see 124 again. In fact, I already have it on the chart. Here it is, like literally on the chart already. Like so, I mean, yeah, looks like Nvidia was pre-prepared in advance, and eventually some sort of VC and question mark sort of retest to the upper levels, just to end up dropping again, retesting these levels, and eventually continuing to the lower levels that we've discussed before, which is 110, 100, all that vicinity of 95, 91, 90. And then, you can have all these, but sure, for now, for the time being, the near-term vicinity is 90 to 110. We've been preparing for this for quite some time. All of these are old predictions. It's so fun at this point that I have predictions for everything set up in advance. Like I can plow through everything. Hey, Smiley, by the way, thank you for the, getting better wishes and all that. I appreciate the comment the other day. Thank you. That was very friendly. By the way, to everyone else who did comment and followed up on me as I was getting better and half dying in the last 2 weeks, I tremendously appreciate all the support and loyalty and all that beautiful stuff. You guys are amazing. I will try not to be sick again, but it is what it is. In fact, amusingly, those who don't know, as I was getting better, just yesterday I decided to order out because I was really feeling like ordering out. I really felt like eating some hummus. Or some other like some meat and whatever. But basically, I think I got food poisoning the other day after all of that crap and everything. So wasn't feeling well either. And that's why it took me another extra day to get back to usual. But I'm all back to normal. I hope that from here on out, I'm gonna be consistently doing our usual shenanigans. I'm gonna be there for the academy members, for the students, for the Discord members, for everybody. Those of you who don't know, here is the Discord. Definitely do join. You must be a Patreon. You have here all the instructions of how to join and all that beautiful stuff when you do come into the Discord. If you are interested in the one-on-one academy, like I said, you definitely want to reach out to me ASAP because I have one One less spot. When it's taken, it's taken. If nobody takes it, it's just the price is gonna be just going up to 3,000. Whoever didn't grab the spot, boo-hoo, bummer. One last final spot. Definitely grab it. And yeah, join Patreon. Patreon, you join it. Here it is. It's www.patreon.com/investory, just like it says right there. You can see on the screen thingy. Patreon.com/investory. Join in. There's only one tier currently. It's very simple. If you want to be an Academy member, definitely reach out to me, because it gives you, a Patreon membership throughout, like lifetime membership, basically. You have the various channels when you join, ranging from the various channels that teach you more about markets, my positions, by the way. I really need to update this. I have more stuff. Various must-watches and things I recommend to my members to watch, discussions and stuff and whatnot. And yeah, everything. Here is me dying. And all sorts of fun stuff. This is where we hang out on a daily basis, so definitely join in. Write to me if you wanted to grab the one final spot of the Academy. If not, you're gonna miss out, and that's it. I think I brought everybody up to speed. Definitely join the Discord, join the community, and you will be in the know. And when the market does whatever it's doing as it's doing right now, you'll not just be, confused like a lot of other people. You will be in the know. You'll be able to understand why it does that. Discuss with with us on the very same level with us, what it is that's going on. Do actual analysis. Understand what's up next, potentially based upon the analysis that we can derive from the markets and the various tools we use. So definitely join us, and yeah, that's it. Like right there, links in the chat, all that beautiful stuff. Yep. Everybody have a good night. I will try to go live more normal hours tomorrow. I so a bit late today. Sorry, a lot of stuff had to catch up with. But tomorrow we'll try to go live earlier, as we normally do, for the last hour of the market, maybe even an early live. We'll see how crazy the market will be, but sadly it does appear that we're going to have more of a boring week from here on out. Even though it's going to be volatile, it's going to feel like there's like a lot of action. Really, all in all, it's going to be pretty boring. So yeah, thank you, boys and girls. Thank you all for showing up. I'll see you all on the next one and next videos and stuff. And I hope I earned your like and subscribe and ringing the bell and all the beautiful stuff. If I have not on this one, I'll probably earn it in the you're the tremendous respect and support of pressing these two amazing buttons on the very next one. Join the community, join the Discord, join. Yep, I'll see you on the next one. Good night, boys and girls. Bye bye for now. Thank you all, by the way, for all the wishes and stuff.